When the Lord was creating peace officers, he was into his 6th day of working overtime when an angel appeared and said, "You sure are doing a lot of fiddling around with this one." And the Lord said, "Have you read the specs on this order? A police officer has to be able to run 5 miles through alleys in the dark, scale walls, enter homes a health inspector wouldn't touch, and not wrinkle his uniform. He has to be able to sit in an undercover car all day, cover a homicide scene that night, canvass the neighborhood for witnesses, and testify in court the next day. And he has to be in tip-top physical condition at all times, running on black coffee and half-eaten meals. And he has to have 6 pair of hands." The angel shook her head slowly and said, "6 pair of hands? No way." "It's not the hands that are causing me the problem," said the Lord. "It's the 3 pair of eyes an officer has to have." "And that's on the standard model?" asked the angel. And the Lord nodded. "1 pair that sees through a bulge in a pocket before he asks, 'May I see what's in there, sir?' when he already knows, and he wishes he'd have taken that accounting job. Another pair here on the side of his head for his partner's safety. And another pair of eyes here in front that can look reassuringly at a bleeding victim and say, 'You'll be all right, ma'am,' when he knows it isn't so." The Lord said to the angel, touching his sleeve, "Why don't you rest and work on this tomorrow?" "I can't," said the Lord. "I already have a model that can talk a 250-pound drunk into a patrol car without incident and feed a family of 5 on a civil service paycheck." The angel circled the model of the police officer very slowly. "Can it think?" she asked. "You bet," said the Lord. "It can tell you elements of 100 crimes, recite Miranda warnings in its sleep, detain, investigate, search, and arrest a gang member on the street in less time than it takes 5 learned judges to debate the legality of the stop. And still it keeps its sense of humor. This officer has to have phenomenal personal control. He can deal with crime scenes painted in hell, coax a confession from a child abuser, confront a murder victim's family, and read in the paper the next day how law enforcement isn't sensitive to the rights of criminal suspects." Finally, the angel bent over and ran her finger across the cheek of the police officer. "There's a leak," she said. "I told you were trying to put too much in this model." "That's not a leak," said the Lord. "It's a tear." "What's the tear for?" asked the angel. "It's for bottled up emotion, for fallen comrades, for commitment to that funny piece of cloth called the American flag, for justice." "You're a genius," said the angel. The Lord looked somberly at the angel and said, "I'm no genius. I didn't put the tear in his eye."